I want the player to think about the concepts in the game once the game is over, in the sense that one of the things I liked about working on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 is following the model of the first one. There's a number of moral choices and dilemmas that are presented throughout the game that sort of test, whether you would go light side or dark side based on those choices. But creating those moral dilemmas and then having the companions and the player confronted with the consequences of what those decisions might be. Like, for example, one thing that keeps popping up in the studio is, and from fan mail, is we have one particular moral dilemma where you're given a choice of helping someone out, just for the sake of charity. But then the people in your party start acting as a sounding board for this moral decision. They're like, well, you know what at first glance may seem like a light side decision in terms of giving resources or money to this one person in need may actually be hurting them in other respects. And then they'll break down the fact that, perhaps it's weakening them in some respects, it doesn't force this person to change their behaviors. And so we try to make sure that when players had moral situations like that, there was enough meat to them and different perspectives to them. So when the player puts the game down and they're able to think about it for a while, some of those moral situations would keep circling back in their head. And they go, you know what? I'm still thinking, how does that apply to my own life? If I'm in a decision like that, is it good for me to constantly use everyone around me as a safety net, or am I hurting myself as an individual by not changing my own behaviors and habits to make myself a better person? And who's to say what's light side or dark side about that? But it gives you some food for thought.